Hello, hello. All right. So those who are tuning in live or replay will just get to be a little fly on the wall as we have our session together. So welcome, people of the world. This is Brittany,
Hi.
and I got to channel Brittany's Soul's Calling 3 years ago. Was it during 2020?
It was during like the start of COVID.
Yes, and it was called Chosen Path at the time because that's what Spirit told me to call it. And until Spirit was like, yeah, people don't want just one chosen path. They want a soul's calling. And so I was like, oh, for the love of Pete, I got to change up all my marketing for soul's calling. But I did because that's what I do is I listen. So what you can expect from this session tonight is when I say that means I'm talking to your soul. Like your soul is talking through me. So when you're listening to me, I'll have my eyes shut and you can hear me now, right? Like there's no glitchiness or anything, right? It's all good.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So when I am saying that is your soul speaking through to you. And then when I'm saying we, that is God, source, creator, spirit, universe, angel, spirit guide. I'm not going to identify who's talking. I just say we as a collective whole. Let's see here. What else do you need to know? There are two different ways that soul's calling goes. One, I mean, I know we've channeled it, but your energy. And people are like, my soul's calling can change. Mine was altered. So like as I stepped more and more into so my initial was speak to the masses, the guided message on pure love. That's really broad. But I didn't think that I could channel. I didn't think like guided. I didn't know what pure message, like pure love, like there were so many aspects to that I really didn't understand it. And then once I understood it and I was living it and doing it, then Spirit's like, I need you to now teach, like channel soul's callings, and I need you to teach professionals, business owners, leaders, how to lead with their soul by listening to their divine guidance. So then it was like even more into channeling and guiding and having the guided message. So it could be that your soul's calling is going to go a little bit deeper. I don't know. I haven't tapped into you, so I don't know.
Okay.
What else do I need to tell you? Do you have questions starting off before I begin?
I don't have any questions.
All right. So I'm recording it and I'll send you the recording, and then I recommend you transcribing it. Seeing it out on paper with words instead of just hearing it will also help for you to understand, I feel.
Okay.
So I recommend transcribing the call. You can use otter.au or something if you need as like a transcription, or you could just like pen to paper or pause, stop. That's fine sometimes too.
Okay.
And then, yeah, what else do I need? I feel like I need to tell you something else. So that transcribing it, I'll send you the recording. And then just if you have any questions, feel free to always reach out or schedule another session or whatever it needs to be, so that way you have the most clarity. And actually moving forward, I really want to move into like at least 5 sessions with people, so that way they can like really get their soul's calling and how to use it and how to integrate it and all that stuff.
So, I like that.
Yeah, because I don't want to just leave people hanging and be like, oh. So there's 2 ways to go with this that I want to share with you, and I'm sharing this now with like everybody because sometimes I forget. 2 ways that I found. One, you're like, I totally get this. I've been living this. I've been like, this is what I've been working on. Like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. And then the other way is, you left me even more confused than then I started Sarah Sparks. And all that tells the person that's like receiving the messages is, all right, how in alignment am I to my soul? So if I totally get it, then, oh, I am in vibrational alignment with my soul, because we're all energy. Or if we're like, what? I don't really get that. Like I did. Like I was like, I don't know what speaking to mass is a guide message, pure love. Like I didn't get that because I wasn't connecting to my soul. I didn't barely knew I even had a soul. Like I wasn't spending time with my soul. Like versus like when it was like, you'll be teaching, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh yeah, cool. I know exactly what to do. I need the program. I need this. Okay, this is the steps. Okay, I got it. So that's all that it tells you. So it's not like, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. Nope. Ready to begin? You want to know why your soul's calling and purpose and all things?
Yes.
All right, let's ground ourselves. Feet flat on the floor if you can. Spine elongated. Imagining you have roots on the bottom of your feet, burrowing down into Mother Earth. Going down, down, down. All right, take a deep breath in. Pulling that energy up and out and through the body, out through the crown chakra to the top, reaching that energy is going up to divine, God, source, creator, spirit, universe, whatever you connect with. Now, as you take a deep breath in and then blow it out, move that energy down and through the body, all the way out through the feet. Then take a deep breath in, moving that energy up and out, and then down and through. One more time. And out. Centering yourself. Coming back to your center. We release all anxiety, leaving judgment about ourselves and others at the door. We step into trust, saying to ourselves in silence, I trust you. I am safe. Your soul speaking now. Sarah, do you see in Brittany how diligent she has been? I am so proud of her. Those late nights, worry, tears, fret, and concern. And she's rounded the corner and seen how beautiful and strong I am. And in those moments, between the peaks of high, in those moments of worry, they are less and less, because she has learned that she is me. I just want to say how proud I am to be in this body now. You see, there's less of a fight. When Brittany has allowed me to lead like she is now, there is less of a fight. There's not as much to stand up for, to prove. Because when you Brittany, are being the essence of me, soul. The force to reckon with. Change happens. Without me, we having to say anything. Remember that. In the moments that you want the change the most, change in finances, change in environment, change in conversation, be me. Be soul. You are a force to reckon with. There's a sweet spot for caregivers in this world. I stand up for the rights of parents. When children are taken away for no reason other than the judgment of another. Nothing has been legally wronged. When a parent loses a child and is stripped away from them, I want to do whatever is in my capacity to stand up for what I know is right. I have the connections. I have the knowledge. I am the liaison between the parent and the legal system. I'm not afraid of conflict. I will do whatever is in my power to give those parents back those children. It's very emotional for me, soul. And a human would think, why would a soul be emotional? When it is the soul's mission, why the soul came into the body, it becomes one with body, mind. The driving force of energy behind me is justice. I will not back down. I will not take a back seat. My next step is to form those connections form the team, and do research on support networks and liaisons between a civilian we'll say government for broader terms, but legal system. But I came into this body during this lifetime to stand up for what I know is right. And I will not back down. What gets me up in the morning, what keeps me going is that soul, that purpose. And it's one word, and it is justice. We are complete. Holy buckets, lady. That's a lot of emotion.
Woo! Well, I have some work to do.
Does that feel like you? Does it
Yeah.
resonate with you?
It does. I've been asking and trying to figure out like what my next, like I love what I'm doing now, but it's something of like that passion is missing. And being able to use my knowledge and be able to help people, that part is not, I'm helping but on different levels, but in a bigger way. I've been wanting to help in a bigger way with something in the capacity of with childcare, children. So that's making a lot of sense to me.
I know that this is controversial, so I'm not certain where you stand, but what I kept seeing, and Sarah, was hesitant because I don't like conflict, and Spirit has asked me to be more controversial, so yay, this is a great opportunity. What I kept seeing was children being taken away because they are trans. And so
all right, I have some work to do. I have some research to do.
Like there is nothing that the parents have done. It's nothing that the child has done. I don't know your viewpoint on it, but that's just how like it kept showing me. It was like, we have to stand up, like you're here to do that in numerous ways, but that's what kept being shown.
Okay.
How does that feel? I don't know.
Scary, not in the sense of like scary because I don't agree with that, because I full-heartedly believe in families being able to do what's best for their child. And if the government doesn't not, in my opinion, should not have a huge role in the upbringing of children unless it has something to do with their like physical and mental well-being. And I know a lot of people think that maybe their decisions on being trans at a certain age is not always, I think there's ways to go about that, rather than just being like, there's no way they could be trans, and so that's my viewpoints on it. But I have some work to do because I'm not as familiar with those situations in my life currently, but I definitely know that is a huge problem in our country. Just the negative viewpoints on people who are different than you. And that's all the way around with race and and gender, everything. So so it'll be interesting to see if something comes into my life that, that lights that fire up, that says, okay, this is what it is. This is why, because I think that there's going to have to be something in my life that happens for me to take that, like, usually that's what happens, is that something happens and I'm like, no, that's not okay. And then I figure out and I research and I connect with people to figure out how to solve that situation and to help where I can. I think that's my gift. So
Your soul, is there
um,
like ever a time that you feel hesitant on anything? Your soul is one badass.
well, so my soul's calling, what you called, what spirits had said my chosen path was badass rebel full of love. And so I have in my life lived up to that, I feel like, but it always came like at a cost to my physical health and my mental health, because not everyone is okay with you just stirring things up sometimes, even if it is the right thing to do. But you came into my life and spirit had told me that, and everything just made sense. All of these situations I'd been put in to where I just did it. I just do it because I feel that it's right, even though it caused some ripples. And that was hard on me. But knowing that that was my path made all of those things more like I was able to accept the situations better. And so now going forward, but I was still kind of confused, like, okay, what does that mean for my life? Like my life job or my career or my business or just in general, what does
And
that mean?
one of the things is when we're finding out our soul's calling is actually being our soul.
Mhm.
And I think since 3 years ago, you've been talking with your soul more, you've been talking with spirit more, you've gotten to know her more
Mhm.
versus like, that's why this makes sense. It's because
Mhm.
you are like, okay, this is the next step. This is how. So
Yeah.
replay this, transcribe it out, and you'll see, okay, like I believe your soul, like when I'm in, and then when I say it, I'm complete, I disconnect. So like
Yeah.
trying to recall now, I think it was like, these are the next steps.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm going to have to go back and write it all down, because you just get so much information and it's all like resonating. And then that part where you were like, some of it's going to make a lot of sense to you. And then some of it you're going to be like, oh, okay. And so for me, I'm like, oh, okay. But also like, okay, this is like, it makes sense that is what I've been asking and looking for. So,
Um, you're a liaison, and I'm not sure if there's another title with that. Like liaison for blah blah blah. But I would do research. I would then be like, who am I a liaison for? Who am I directly to be working with?
mhm.
Even like, so ideal clients, what you would be like, who am I connecting with? Who am I serving? How am I showing up? Um, what is the team that I am to be building, and who is on that team? Who do I need to be connecting with?
Mhm.
What are the different departments? What are the different areas that need to be
Yeah.
covered in this? Is there any further knowledge I need? Is there any certifications or education that I need? So I mean, there's just lots of questions that I would
Yeah.
like once you
Yeah.
transcribe it, and like your soul was pretty direct. There wasn't a lot of like metaphors being used, or
No,
there wasn't anything like
thank
you
you,
need to
soul. Because
heal.
sometimes I get a little like, oh, what does that mean? But yes, I fully understood what was being told to me.
Okay, cool. If you have any questions, just reach out. I'll send the recording over. So
Okay.
thank you. Thank you for doing
Thanks,
it.
Sarah.
All right. Bye, love.
Bye.